normalize not arguing with patients in 2025. I don't care if you're a medical professional. Do not argue with the guards. Period. Period. Okay, guys? If the patient is feeling like you're rushing them to get to where, like next patient, they're gonna get agitated. That guard standing next to you, that's not your personal bodyguard. What's up, friends? Welcome back to KimmyDTV, a place where nurses and aspiring nurses come to achieve academic, career, and life success. In this video, I'm going to be talking about how you can stay safe as a nurse working in the jail. Alright guys, so this video is actually for any medical professional, whether you are a certified nursing assistant, licensed practical or vocational nurse, medical assistant, a lab, whether you're a tech, a doctor, physician assistant, whoever you are, I believe these tips can help you. Now, before you click off this video, I know a lot of people are discouraged when they hear correctional nursing, okay? So I have had experience working in the jail as a licensed practical nurse, and most recently becoming a registered nurse working in the jail, okay? And I'm about 5 feet nothing, and I have a small stature, and you know, by the grace of God, I'm okay working in the jail, okay? But I want to give you guys some tips to first of all demystify correctional nursing for you and remove some of this stigma and to decrease your overall anxiety, like you saw in my shorts, regarding correctional nursing, okay? So the first tip I'm gonna give when staying safe working in the corrections jail, I'm not pushing my spirituality to you, but I'm just being honest of what I did, is I pray every single time I'm about to start my shift. I think that is very important. Whoever you believe in, whoever your higher power is, definitely ask for prayer, because at the end of the day, I'm not too sure about prisons. Like I said, if you're a nurse and you work in a prison, comment down below and let us know how it's like, and I would be curious to know the difference. But when you're working in the jail, it's just my belief, there's a lot of things going on. The inmates slash patients are in a very, very, very stressful period of their life. A lot of them are awaiting trials. A lot of them are awaiting their court cases for, it could be a minuscule crime to a very serious crime. So there's a lot of emotions going on, and while they're in the jail, life continues. So it can be a lot, okay? Guards, of course, are stressed out. Other people who are working, therapists, people who come speak to the inmates, clergy, everybody is stressed out. It is a very, very stressful environment, no doubt. So I believe prayer is 100% key. You can't go without, you know, putting your spiritual armor on, okay? The second most important step I'm gonna tell you guys is, first of all, there have been people who, you know, told me, or I've heard that, you know, in order to work in the jail, you know, you have to be all tough and you have to be like all macho. Even as a woman, you know, they've told me, you know, you got to act like this. And that is honestly, that's like a really bad advice, okay? If you are someone who, you know, is naturally someone who carries a lot of, you know, masculine energy, okay, yes, then you can be respectful and kind and, you know, exude that energy. But if that's not you, it's not going to work, because people, including the inmates slash patients, can see right through it, okay? So this brings me to the very, very most important tip, okay? When you go into the jail, you have to put in your mind that yes, you see the guards, but they always say a saying that says safety is everyone's priority. And you may be like, okay, what does that mean? Okay, so for me, coming from working in acute inpatient psychiatric hospitals, I always have that in the back of my head, first of all, because I've seen a lot and have been through a lot as a psychiatric registered nurse. But I want every nurse to get that in their head, because I know not all nurses going into correctionals are coming from a psychiatric background. You have to put in your mind that safety is your priority. What exactly does that mean? That means that guard you see over there, that guard standing next to you, that's not your personal bodyguard. You see what I'm saying? So what does that mean? You have to treat the patient with respect, because at the end of the day, they may be an inmate, but they are your patient, okay? So not only will that protect you, but that will also build rapport with your patient, which is another huge important thing. Here's the thing. Whenever you are speaking to a patient / inmate, you need to speak to them even though there's a guard right there, or there's a bar. Let's say you're speaking to them through a bars, like through bars, or even if it's through a door and there's like a window, sometimes there's a window. You need to speak to them as if they are face to face in front of you, because sometimes I would speak to a patient and it's through a door and then like a small window, or sometimes it's through bars, and then the next day I'm speaking with them face to face. I kid you not. Or sometimes I speak to them face to face, and then something may happen, and now all of a sudden their housing has changed because their acuity has changed. Okay, so what does that tell you? That tells you to be very careful when you are speaking to these inmates, because anything can happen. Their statuses can change at any moment. Like I said, I treat all my inmates / patients the exact same, okay? For the love of God, do not research what they do, okay? And you also, like I said in my previous videos, you also have to check yourself at the door. What does that mean? That means sometimes, especially if you work in a jail, if you're somebody who likes to watch the news, or if you're on TikTok, or if you're on YouTube scrolling, yes, it is possible to see the patient that you're gonna have the next day on the news. So you have to like talk to yourself and make sure that when you see that patient the next day, you're able to treat them with respect like any other patient in the hospital. And the thing is, a lot of people forget, a lot of medical professionals forget, if you fake something, people can see it in your eyes. Just so you know, you can be like smiling at somebody, but the patients, they can see it in your eyes if you're not really genuine. So the whole point is you have to keep it extremely professional. You can't roll your eyes, have an attitude, or change your care based off of their alleged crime. You see what I'm saying? So that is the #1 thing that will keep you safe. Oh my goodness, I cannot tell you how many times, because guys, you may say, okay, we have a guard, we have a bar, things happen. What if somebody accidentally pressed a button and then the door just opened and it's just you and the patient? What if the guard is new, brand new, and somebody just stuck him there? Or what if the guard is doing a double shift and he's tired and he's like, la da 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 da. What if he just walks away and leaves you? So, we gotta be honest with ourselves. Things happen. People work short, people are doing doubles, people are tired. So you have to go into that correctional facility, at least the jail, with the idea in your mind that maybe that person just received negative news, because the chances of your patient just hearing a negative news, maybe something happened in the outside world, or maybe something happened then and there, those chances are pretty high, and you may be the first face they see. So if they ask you a question and you're arguing, that's another thing. Guys, can we normalize not arguing with patients in 2025? Guys, some things I see, I'm like, guys, do not argue with patients. I don't know how many times I have to say this. Please don't argue with patients. It doesn't make any sense. You will never win. Read How to Influence and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. Dale Carnegie said this: you can never win an argument. Even if you're right about something, the person will always resent you. and that goes for every single person in life. So, but especially if it's a patient, and especially if the patient is an inmate, don't argue with them. You know what I'm saying? If the patient has a concern, first of all, another tip I want to give is listen way more than you talk. If the patient is feeling like you're rushing them to get to where, like next patient, they're gonna get agitated, and that may make them feel even worse, and you may be like the straw that broke the camel's back. Am I saying for you to sit there and like listen to every single thing that they have to say? No, because then you won't get your questions answered. But you can ask focused questions. Once you get to know your patients, especially, you know, okay, this person can tend to divert and be circumstantial, so you will ask focused questions, yes or no questions. You know, tailor the questions, try to follow the questions in a respectful way. You know what I mean? So you have to make the patient feel heard, and try your best to meet the person's need. And when you at least try to meet the patient's needs, they see that and they respect that. And with that, you will stay safe, guys. I cannot tell you how many close calls I've had just by simple staff mistakes. Sometimes we're working extremely short. So I cannot tell you how many close calls, you know, how many safety risks I've seen. So in order to mitigate those risks, guys, you have to be very alert. Another tip I want to give you guys is be very alert of your surroundings. Okay, for me, like I said, working in psych, I'm always used to looking left, looking right. You always have to be aware of your surroundings. Just because a guard is standing right next to you and you're talking to them, you're not going to trust that they are looking out for you. Not to make you paranoid, but you have to always keep your head on the swivel. You don't have to, you know, make it so obvious, but you always have to be aware of everything that's going on around you. Be able to read body language, okay? Be able to read body language. Be able to tell when somebody is getting escalated, okay? That is so important. If you see someone is escalating, you need to know when to get out of that situation so that nobody gets hurt. Okay? And my last tip I want to give you guys is get in good with the guards, okay? It's just like working in the hospital, you know? You'll always find good people to work with, you know, people who are on your team, okay? Not, the whole world is not negative. So my last tip, guys, is to get in good with the guards. What do I mean by that? Try to develop a great relationship with the guards, okay? Like I said, they're not your personal bodyguards. I want you guys to get that through your head. They're not your personal bodyguards. They're supposed to, you know, protect you, their security, but you shouldn't have in your head, okay, this is my personal bodyguards, because at the end of the day, they're human, right? But get in good with the guards. The guards know, 9 times out of 10, the guards know your patients way more than you know them, because they are with them way more than you, okay? So respect them and get in good with them. Try to develop rapport with them, you know. Try your best, okay? Answer any questions they have. Try to work together, because at the end of the day, we all are working in the team, yes. However, as a nurse, you are working in their house, period. That means don't argue with them. Try your best. Do not argue with them. Don't argue with guards either. Guys, I'm gonna let you guys know this right now. I don't care if you're a medical professional. Do not argue with the guards. Period. Okay, guys? If there's something up, you know, you have to bring it to your superior, because, you know, this is not the kind of place you want to make an enemy. I'm not saying to let people disrespect you, but, you know, you have to know your chain of command, okay? If you are not coming to a common ground, you have to be able to go up the chain of command. But like plainly arguing, I mean, forget it. Because the guards are your eyes and ears. They will let you know, like, hey, this inmate, he's not looking so good, or this person is not looking so good. They can actually help you, okay, guys? So I hope you guys enjoy this video. Just know that you can be safe working. You just in the jail, okay, at least in correctionals, you just have to treat them with respect. They're like every single person that you meet. And think about it, these are everyday people. A lot of times these people, they do their time and they go right back out into the world, into the public. So these are your everyday people in your local Walmart and your local gas station. So treat everybody with respect. And I'm gonna leave it right there. Okay? All right, guys. Thanks for watching. Bye.